Hey guys, welcome back to Coffee Chat. Haven't done this for quite some time because I actually, in my old age, I got a compressed disc and I couldn't walk, and it was a nightmare. So I put a bit of weight because I was just literally eating and just sitting down or lying down. But it's all cool. I'm back, and we'll do some more coffee chats as well as the history videos and so forth. Interestingly, it's kind of got me thinking about the weight of guitars, because I've had back problems in the past, and this kind of like made me think I need to be playing a lighter guitar. So with that in mind, if you watch the video before this, you can see me playing with my really good friend Samir Nasser from Algeria. He's playing a really cool percussion instrument, bendir, which is actually that one there, which I got from Morocco, and a darabuka drum. But check that video out and you'll see this guitar here in action. And the reason I got this one really was because this is the kind of the subject of this video today, is that I needed a guitar, one guitar that could do lots of different tunings, slide tunings, and I could play my slide guitar on it. I could also play normal guitar in standard tuning, and just to do it all on one guitar and have one small, very small, as small as I could amplifier, and kind of one or two pedals. And that was kind of the my kind of mission, because we were back gigging. It's, I've got a concert tomorrow supporting a great band called Osabisa. I'm opening the show up for them. So I just wanted, you know, take one guitar to a gig, do all the changes I need to do on that one guitar. I've got one amplifier, and I literally can walk in with the guitar in one hand with, you know, this nice light case, and then carrying the amplifier with the other hand, and literally I'm good to go. I'm ready to go, because I was before I was taking, you know, heads and cabs and 2-3 guitars and a pedal board, and I'm kind of at the point now where I just want a really lightweight guitar, lightweight amplifier, and here, let's do the gig, let's play some music. So with this in mind, I actually bought this guitar. Now when I bought this guitar, I thought it was going to be this is an ESP guitar, Navigator, their brand name, one of their brand names. And when I bought this, I thought it was going to be an exact replica of a Les Paul Special, which it isn't, okay? Because this was a custom ordered guitar by some guy in Japan, Tokyo. He's ordered this special guitar, but what it actually is, it's a little bit thinner than a normal Special. It's actually 1.5 inches, or maybe a little bit over, maybe it's 40 millimeters. And a real Les Paul Special would be 1 3/4, so it's 1/4 of an inch slimmer. Pros and cons to that being that it's kind of like less, you can't balance it so well, in my opinion, on your leg, because you've got less wood. It's a bit thinner, so it can maybe slip down. Well, not really. But the pros about it is when you're standing up, it's a lighter guitar, it's more nimble, and it feels great when you're standing up. So although it's not technically exactly as a vintage Special would be, it's got the advantages of the weight, less weight. And of course, this would not be an original colour, okay? Now, the reason I actually bought this guitar was also a great guitar player who plays for Robert Plant called Justin Adams, and he's a good friend of mine. And we went to Africa, we did some work over there, and we've kept in touch. He played on my album, and we've always kept in touch. And one thing I loved about Justin Adams was his guitar sound. And he's got really unique sort of style, but, you know, we're both influenced by sort of world music, and he plays on a 52 gold top Les Paul, but he also has a couple of specials, and I just loved his sound on a special. And I sort of often asked him about his specials. I think they're from the year 2000, they're Gibson sort of reissues, and they just sound really, really great. And he actually has 12s on them, so 12, you know, not 9s, 10s, but not 11s, but 12s, which is kind of like a jazz guitar set almost. So that kind of like was a major influence on why I got this guitar, because I kind of wanted one guitar where I could do my slides, because the thing about when you're playing slide is I tune down to D major tuning. So you've got D, A, D, F sharp, A, D, and you're really, a lot of the times, you know, my slide technique is it's more like a Delta bluesman rather than a Derek Trucks modern sort of Derek Trucks style. So I'm sliding really on the what would be the B and E strings. So okay, so for that I need to have that tension. I'm tuning down my E to a D and my B string to an A. So I'm tuning down a whole step on those two strings. So I need to up the gauge in order to keep that tension and get a nice clean slide. I've also got to raise the action. But bear in mind, I've also got to use this guitar in standard tuning. So I've got to have an action which not only can I play slide on, but I can also play normal guitar. So I'll give you an example of that. So there's a slide, and then I can, let's just tune up. Okay, now we're in standard tuning. Let's play some plectrum guitar. Now the problem you're going to have with this sort of setup on 12s, which this is a set of Diodarios. So Diodarios, you're now going to have a few problems bending. So that's kind of compromise. You've got to have a bit of strength in your fingers to be able to kind of have your 12s and be able to bend, and the action is not low, it's a little bit higher. So, you know, so that is the compromise, is having 12s, slightly higher action, and it being able to play in standard tuning. So in my band, the kind of music, the original music I play, I'm not kind of bending too much. My style is more of a kind of pseudo blues, African, Cuban style. So it's a lot of that. It's a lot of that kind of stuff where I'm not really bending a string up, but it's nice to do a bit of vibrato, and you can still do that, no problem. Now the P90s is which the reason I love Les Paul Specials is for the P90s. It's just a really, really cool sound, and it's kind of got that desert blues sound. For me, especially in that middle sort of pickup, you know. Okay guys, let's talk about the amplifier here. Inside this box, it was actually originally a 16mm, what was called a Bell & Howell projector unit. So 16mm, and this is kind of like the box or the chassis that it came in. So I took the projector out of it, and a good friend of mine called Bill Crenard, who you might know from Two Rock Amplifiers, he modified two amplifiers, well actually three amplifiers for me. And this, I have a couple of EL84s, and this is a 6V6. And what it is just a very small sort of amplifier. I don't know how many watts they are, maybe 14 watts, around about there. But it has an 8-inch speaker, which actually came with the projector unit. So I've taken the projector out and just left the sound module and the 8-inch speaker, and it's got a handle on top, and so literally you can just, you know, it's about that size, and you just walk in into the concert with this, and you tell the guy, soundman, to put a microphone on this 8-inch speaker and to make it sound big through the PA. That's the idea. Not going to get a great bass response from it because it's only an 18 speaker. But here's the deal, guys, it means that I don't have to go to the whole Kempler system or that kind of your you know, using a digital amplifier and which is a simulation of a valve. You know, I didn't really want to go down that route, so this is kind of the route I've gone instead, which is having a really lightweight guitar that can kind of handle those different tunings. Okay, I've had to make a compromise and put a set of 12s on there, a little bit harder to bend, but it kind of slows me down, which is probably a good thing, so I don't whittle too much. And then we've got the amplifier, which is lightweight. It's a valve amplifier. It's, you know, it's 1950s technology, small little speaker, but that means it's a real thing. It's a real tone, which I love. And then I don't have to go to a Kempler system or whatever they're called, because I've tried some of them out and I've heard some of them. And for me, and I've been to concerts. I've seen Edgar Winter actually. His guitarist, great guitar player. He had a Kempler system, and it just didn't sound very good. And for me, I've never heard that kind of style of amp that sounds good. That's just my opinion. I might be wrong here, you know. So, but so this is kind of the way I've kind of gone about it. It's a bit of a compromise, but I'm gonna let you guys know how after I've done a few gigs with this setup. But you know, it's just really refreshing just to have a real minimal gear. So the two pedals that I'm using, literally, I'm using a delay. It could be any delay. It doesn't matter what delay it is. This is a kind of cool delay because I've got another one down here. You've got a slap delay. And then you've got the more ambient delay. It's more of a sort of more ambient thing. And you don't need a reverb because this amp doesn't have reverb. So, you know, if you need a bit of reverb, you can just add a little bit of an ambience to it, depending on what sort of style. If you want that kind of slap back thing, you can go here. Sort of style of music you're playing. So you got your slapback all in this one unit, you know, and it doesn't matter, you know. I'm not saying buy this one, just have a delay that has an ambient setting and your slapback. I mean, you know, and if my home setup, so my home setup, this is my slapback delay. This is the best slapback delay unit. That's not a tape machine. You can buy. Crucial Audio, check it out. This one I wholeheartedly recommend, but obviously it's a slightly larger unit. It's not so practical to take around, so this is going to do the job, and the audience are going to be, you know, they're not really going to know, to be honest. And as far as distortion pedals, well, I make one called, I don't want to be advertising it, but I make my own distortion pedal, overdrive, called the Texas Flood, and so let's put that on. A bit loud, turn the volume up. Yeah, so you got your distortion, you got your overdrive, whatever, and you got a delay, a pedal of some kind, and that's it. What else do you need? You know, what else? What is it? What else is there? The rest is in your fingers. You know. The rest is in the song and the fingers, and so really that's my sort of tip is, you know, find it. You know, you can get one of these. You can get one of these guitars here. Epiphone make even Gibson. They do some really good reissues of the Les Paul Special or Junior. It might be, you know, or I think they have a studio model, which really works for me. Playing slide. If you're gonna, you know, for Strats for me. They're great guitars, but unless you change the pickups, they're not going to be, you know, it's kind of hard for me to play slide on a Strat. I don't know, Raikuda did it very well, amazingly. It's never really worked for me. So I kind of like, I think the P90s is a great compromise to be able to play normal guitar, you know, in standard tuning, and then you've got your slide guitar and open tunings with the slide, you know. So for me, the P90s are really great pickups for that. That would be my recommendation. So this is a Goosecaster, and it's basically the same as a Cudacaster but in the tele form, and that's why we call it the Goosecaster, of course. And it's got the Valco and the gold foil, and it's great for slide. You know, it's got much higher action than this has. Maybe not that much higher, but it has got higher. It's got flat wounds, and it's you know, it's set up for slide. That's what it does. It doesn't do standard tuning. It's not what it's designed for. So it would be very difficult for me to play standard on this. So really, to have one guitar to do the whole thing, that's why I got the Les Paul Special. For me, it's got the sound, and with the P90, it's a very versatile instrument. And you know, I'll give you some feedback, guys. But that's basically the setup. You know, it's like 2 pedals. You know, you've got your overdrive, and you've got your delay, your ambience. You've got your lightweight guitar, which is versatile. You know, do whatever tunings you need to do. And then you've got some kind of a small valve amp. You know, and it doesn't have to be some weird projector amplifier. That's, you know, it doesn't have to be that. It could just be a lightweight Fender combo, a small Princeton or something that you can carry. You know, say for example, you need to get on the bus to do the gig. Well, you can do that. You know, where you know, just. I think it's kind of like, that's the kind of the way I'm going. Now, I don't know about you guys, but when I want to play out, I want to really minimise the gear as much as possible, so I can kind of concentrate on the job in hand, which is, you know, entertainment. You know, that's what we're here. That's what we're here to do. If it's not ourselves, we're here to entertain others. And I think the rabbit hole you can go down with the equipment, and you know, and the amassing all these trinkets and gear, you know, which I'm totally guilty of, as much as anybody, probably more so. But I think going out to play, it's really good to get, you know, just minimal gear. Go back to the 60s and 70s when, you know, all the great players, Clapton, Hendrix, you know, they had hardly anything when they were doing the gig. It was just like one guitar, you know, one amp. Well, Hendrix would have a couple of stacks, but you know, we're not playing the Royal Albert Hall. So if you're playing a small club, pub, whatever, you know, one amp, one guitar, a couple of pedals, you're good to go. You don't need all this rubbish, you know, that's in your life. Now, at home, we might want to have a few guitar choices, a few things. That's fine. But I think when you're, you know, you should really be aiming for really just to bring it down to one guitar, one amp, couple of pedals. That's it. You know? So I hope this has maybe enlightened you a little bit, just my opinion. Of course, there's a whole lot of opinions out there, and you know, my opinion is worth nothing more than anybody else's. So make of it of what you will. Take care, guys. This is Coffee Chat. It's great to be back. I just want to be lots more of these videos, and we're going to get production sorted so it's a bit more professional as well. Take care, guys. God bless. See you soon.